When the knob only turned a centimeter in either direction, he cursed under his breath. A key hung from the ring attached to one corner of the identification card, so he used it in the lock. He was in the office with little fanfare. As breaking and entering went, the government building was easy. Most of the time, investigating meant spending time on the computer. Not that he was a genius when it came to that particular tool. He was mediocre at best. But he knew how to find a person through their digital imprint. It all came down to nosing around in someone's business. Magnus had lived before computers were a blip on anyone's radar. Magnus moved to the only desk in the room. There was a row of floor cabinets covering the back wall. The desk sat right in front of them and formed an L shape. He'd bet money the desk was Wesley's. Good old Wesley Swenson. Prejudiced prick that he was, he didn't seem all that dangerous to anyone, including paranormals. So he was paranoid, maybe. Just enough that he'd created a website to find other paranoid, prejudiced pricks out there in the world. Well, maybe they weren't all paranoid. They weren't wrong, after all. What bothered Magnus was the Wesley from the bar and the website owner didn't mesh. At the bar, Wesley seemed stressed about his job, but otherwise seemed like a nice guy. The website had been made by an idiot, so maybe Magnus's first impressions were off. He'd been wrong before, but it didn't happen very often. Magnus sat in Wesley's office chair and leafed through his drawers. He didn't expect to find much, and after only about 5 minutes, he discovered he was right. If Wesley had anything to hide, it would be on his computer. Magnus eyed the technology sitting in the middle of the desk with the lid open. The laptop remained as lifeless and as dark as the surrounding office. It would stay that way for the time being. He'd take the thing with him when he left. Magnus stood and made his way across the room to a closed door. His hand was on the knob when his whole body stiffened. The door to the outer hallway burst open, hitting the wall with a bang. Magnus turned to find the woman from last night and 2 men in white lab coats. The second Magnus saw the gun in the woman's hand, he cursed himself for not bringing a weapon of his own. Instead, he hissed, showing his fangs. The woman didn't respond. One of the men in lab coats smiled, though. "Hello, vampire." Shit. Humans in lab coats calling him vampire didn't bode well for a safe exit. He'd make a run for it as soon as they moved away from the door. He also knew what would happen to him next, because Fane had spent some unwanted time in a lab. Magnus was about to suffer the same fate.